Islam is humanity. Humanity is Islam. Believing in the oneness of the Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and worshipping Him is not only about observing the daily prayers, paying zakat, fasting in the holy month of Ramadan, and going for the holy pilgrimage. Rather, it is about endearing humanity to that which is good. To uphold these pillars and the propagation of Al-Islam, informed the advent of Nasrul-Lahi-L-Fatih Society, NASFAT, a faith-based organization which was conceived some years ago and continues to nurture the good of humanity irrespective of gender, religious difference, age, color, or race.
Alhamdulillah, the society came into being in 1995 in Lagos, precisely house number 20, Oguntade Street, in Dopemu area of Lagos. Initially, we started with the objective of doing the regular salatu, calling friends, acquaintances, and other people of like minds, Muslim brothers and sisters, to join us. At that time, I had the opportunity of having with me as a staff Munhim Taye Tijani. He was my staff. So we discussed, and when we decided that, okay, let us set up, then I wrote letters to people that I know are Muslims, and I sought for views of others too. So we compiled a name. Alhamdulillah. A lot of them responded, and on the starting date, Alhamdulillah, we started with prayer, and that's how it's been. You see, there was this urge to deepen our knowledge of Islam, because you'll agree with me that in secondary school, we were members of MSS and whatever. After tertiary education, there was nothing like MSS again, and we felt that this is a vacuum. It's a vacuum, and we said, look, let us, people of like minds and vision, let us come together and deepen our knowledge of Islam.
Individual morality and piety, along with education and socio-economic empowerment, remains the society's focus.
We need to look at the mission statement of NASFAT, which is to develop an enlightened Muslim society nurtured by true understanding of Islam for social development and welfare of mankind. How can we nurture a good understanding of Islam? NASFAT does this by organizing various trainings for members and non-members. In the last 12 years, we assemble our members every December of the year, and we discuss with them some of the concepts, traditions, values, principles of Islam that seem to be conscience disturbing, faith-shaping, similar confusing, and we explain to them all these concepts. We organize every 3 days in the week, online Quranic and fiqh studies. Every Friday, we release what we call NASFAT Dawa Bulletin. Every Sunday of the 5 o'clock Nigerian time, we organize what we call NASFAT Sunday webinars. And we are played host to renowned and international scholars. We relate with a lot of organizations, Islamic and non-Islamic. President Jimmy Carter has sponsored not less than 40 members of Nasrul-Lahi-L-Fatih to Senegal to come and discuss Islamic issues as relates to the fundamental rights of girl child and women.
NASFAT is a faith-based society. However, its mission and vision does not focus on religious matters alone, rather on all areas that concerns the well-being and development of humanity. Hence, the National Executive Council's health agenda, which translates to health, education, livelihood, and dawah.
We focus on spiritual upliftment, we focus on enlightenment, which is education, and then we focus on the welfare. And so we set up Tafsan Investment Limited as an investment vehicle of the society that we've used to invest in properties, to buy shares in quoted companies, such that in the long run, the society will have a diversified source of income. The second agency, I will easily say, is the Tafsan Tours and Travels. NASFAT set up Tafsan Tours and Travels to provide a very convenient and spiritually fulfilling channel for Muslims to go for Hajj or Umrah. We have Fountain University. Fountain University is our premier education institution. Today, the society has about 26 primary schools, 8 secondary schools, and of course, we have Fountain. Also part of our agency is AVEC Leadership Academy. AVEC Leadership Academy was formed to provide leadership training for Muslims and of course non-Muslims, but leadership training that is based on Islamic ethics and Islamic norms. Right, so our 5th agency is NASAS, the NASFAT agency for Zakat and Sadaqah. Zakat is a spiritual obligation. It's one of the mandatory pillars of Islam for those who can afford it. And so we've set up NASAS as a vehicle, independent vehicle to collect and administer Zakat and Sadaqah for members. We have the KIIN. KIIN is our media arm, which again we've set up with its own independent board that will focus on digital broadcasting and communication and education based on Islamic values. So our 7th agency is the NASFAT Relief Initiative called NRI that is meant to provide succor to those who are in distress. So whether there's a flood, there's an earthquake, there's community crisis, NASFAT Relief Initiative mobilizes support and channels it to those who are in need. And December last year, we came up with NASLAC, that's the NASFAT Legal Aid Council that provides pro bono legal support to anyone that requires help.
As part of driving NASFAT's agenda of promoting communal well-being, the Society recently commissioned an ultra-modern health center in Ikorodu, amongst several other interventions in support of community access to quality health facilities. The Society also actively promotes Islamic and Western education through its 26 primary and 8 secondary schools across several zones and branches alongside its tertiary institution, Fountain University, Osogbo. NASFAT implements several social interventions such as the Orphans Support Scheme coordinated by its Children Affairs Committee and has continued to provide educational aid to the youth up to the university level. The NASFAT Agency for Zakat and Sadaqah, NASAZ, established in 2014, has disbursed an excess of 500 million naira to over 50,000 beneficiaries.
At the commencement of the society in 1995, the society had its aims and objectives clearly spelled out, and this was translated into the constitution of the society. And it is this objective that we use in guiding us in our day-to-day operation at the National Council of Elders. We ensure that we bring harmony to all the arms and bodies of NASFAT. And any issue of concern either to any of the organ or anybody in NASFAT, such issues usually are referred to National Council of Elders, and we give our advice as we thought fit. So we are the stabilizing factor in the society. I mean, one, age is on our side, and all of us have made it in our different careers. So we are always very objective and frank in any of our reaction to any problem that may arise. We are all human beings. Issues will come up at different times, at different places, and it's we people put heads together that will suggest a solution to such problems.
Almost on yearly basis or sometimes on quarterly basis, we empower youth, women, widows, and widows. And when the community where NASFAT are located all over the northern states, we make sure that such things happen. And not only that, sometimes you see, when you are taking care of a community, you cannot discriminate whether this is a non-NASFAT member, this is a NASFAT member. No, you don't do that. Because we have made up our mind that we want to set a place for everybody around to know that this society is for the generality of Nigeria, not only for the Muslims.
Every year, we started training our women in Dawah, the Quranic and Arabic classes. So we have classes for our women to enroll and take up classes. Or we collaborate with the mission board to have a program that we call Women Connect with Missionaries. There we ask questions for our missionaries to understand Islam very well. And I will tell you that about 2/3 of the proceeds from the zakat is benefited by women. And it's not only women of NASFAT, even women that are non-members of NASFAT have been empowered in various ways.
In NASFAT, we have the Singles Connect, whereby our single brothers and single sisters are able to network, matchmake, and get the best spouse, inshallah. In terms of health programs, we've had a lot of health awareness programs that is being piloted by the youth and by the health committee of the society. We've had a lot of education programs also that a lot of youth are benefiting from, scholarship programs and many more.
We are actually focused on what we call leadership development, self-development, education, career goal, and then dawah. And I'm really glad to tell you that we had an essay competition most recently where we asked people to submit their input on Japa syndrome. And it is funny to know that we had over 150 submissions from non-Muslims.
We have established and organized different forms of sporting activities that youth members can be taken away from the street and enable them to participate. We also have food bank, which we open our door to members to be able to come in, members of the community to come in and help themselves to various items from the food bank.
Well, NASFAT has really impacted on the women of the South region in a lot of ways: empowerment, education, and we have lots of convertees because of the beauty of NASFAT that is happening on the South region. And there are a lot of vocational studies training for them, the catering, the tailoring, and the weaving, the soap making, the farm.
So I hope and I pray that as the society progresses, we'll combine those three things and be known for those three things of prayer, knowledge, and dawah.
Our aspiration is to make sure that society moves from strength to strength, expand, and more importantly, bring back our children who have been misadvised from the religion to come back to the religion.
We are, inshallah, gradually becoming a global brand. We are reaching out to the whole world in the propagation of Islam in a much better way than we met it.
Indeed, service to humanity in every human endeavor is a practice and an encouraged act of ibadah towards seeking the pleasure of Almighty Allah at Nasrul-Lahi-L-Fatih Society. وَمَن نَصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. There is no help except from Allah.